What's up, everybody? Well, I got another Steam Deck OLED and LCD gameplay video for you guys today, and today we're going to test out this demo for Hell Is Us. Now, after seeing the requirements for this game, I can almost assure you this is not going to work very well, if at all. Might not even launch, but even if we can get in there, I very much doubt we're going to get playable FPS, seeing as though this thing is way under the minimum specs for the game. But my curiosity always gets the better of me, so I figured, well, we've got Steam Decks, we've got a demo, might as well see what it does just for the hell of it. And then we'll test out the Ally X and Z1 Extreme, Firebat, all that stuff too. We're just gonna test this on everything. But I don't think until we get to the G15 Advantage, well, technically the small form factor PC, I don't think we're gonna get very good performance until then. And even then, I think we're always gonna have to rely on upscaling. I do not think you can play this game native, unless you're doing something crazy, like have a 5090 and playing at 1080p or something like that. Then you might be able to hit 60 with everything up, but sounds like if you're trying to do 4K, hell no. You're gonna get like 30 FPS then. Hell, you might only get 30 FPS with upscaling, the way they were saying stuff on the requirements sheet, but we shall see. That's the whole point of the video. So we'll start on the weakest thing we got and work our way up. So no more blabber, only gaming.
All right, so here we go. We're gonna run it just stock, which includes TSR running at like 50%. I'll turn that to unlimited. Sometimes I guess that gets kicked back on, or I forget to turn it on in some of the videos. And I think that limits it to like 62 or something, if it can get there. I don't think any of these things can get there. At least the Steam Decks can't. I think the Allies could on some settings. And I got worried looking at the FPS we get in the menus. But luckily, once you get into the game, it's a lot more forgiving. It's not perfect by any means, but it's a lot more playable than I thought it was going to be. But anyway, let's go hop on into the game, I guess, and just see what's what.
It's a true serum. It's still experimental, hence the polygraph. I would have tortured you, but my employers insist I use their concoction. Now, let's begin. How did you get into Hadia?
The yellow brick road.
Well, apparently, needs more time. While it's going through your system, curious about something. Why did you do it?
Anyone in my shoes would have done the same.
I think you overestimate human beings. I don't think you realize the time, money, and resources that went into this operation. You pissed off the wrong people. But I'm getting ahead of myself. You were smuggled out of Hadia at age 5, grew up in the foster care system, and dabbled in criminal activities. You managed to pull yourself together and become a decorated soldier. After decades of trying to get back into Hadia, well, you decided to take matters into your own hands. It seems we are ready. How did you get into Hadia?
I asked for a transfer to the UN peacekeepers, who were deployed inside Hadia. It backfired. When the paperwork cleared, Hadia's civil war was in full swing and the peacekeepers pulled out. I reported to my new unit, stole some gear, and crossed the mountains.
Why come back?
Fuck.
So now we're going to go ahead and try with Intel's upscaling, just to see if we get different FPS, which I believe we get a little less FPS, but I think it looks slightly better than the stock TSR. Who knows? Maybe I'm just, being placeboed or something, but it sure looked a little bit better. But we lost some frames getting there. And then after that, we'll try FSR3. You can't do it in-game, so I went out of game once I found that out. So, we'll do that last. So anyway, though, why don't we go ahead and hop on into the game.
You must be lost to wander around Sinedra Forest. I'm afraid I have very little to offer. You're welcome to stay and catch your breath. Frankly, I could use the company.
Who are you?
The name's Ernest Cadell. My family has tilled the earth here for generations. When the Sabinian army dug in for the winter, they used our home as their headquarters. I wasn't here at the time. My sons were. They left my sons' bodies in the forest. My only solace is knowing that my fourth son might still be alive. I hope he finds his way home, if he's out there somewhere.
Do you know where the village of Jova is located?
It's in Akasa Marshes. It's quite a ways from here. I'm afraid you're going to need a vehicle. Unfortunately, I have... A group of strange-looking soldiers arrived here last night in an APC. And perhaps you can ask them for help. It's not the first time I've seen them. They always seem to be snooping around here for something.
Where can I find the APC?
They parked their APC just beyond the woods, to the north. Once in the woods, follow the wind chimes. They will lead the way through. I hung them in the trees so my sons would stop getting lost when they were children. Zethers, bless their souls.
Hey, Gus, Arlo, Otis, please pick up. It's Atticus. I've been trying to call for days now. Phone lines keep going down, so I don't know when I'll be able to call you back, but I'll keep trying. Hey, don't go killing Sabs without me. See you soon.
Well, alright, I kind of fumbled a little bit here. Didn't realize at this point that I could actually use this, so the camera recorded portion of the LCD is using the Intel XeSS unbalanced. But I figured we'd at least get some screen recorded FSR3 unbalanced here. But I just wouldn't want you guys to think there's any tomfoolery going on. But I figured out I could enable it after going to the OLED and going, hey, before I get into the game for the first time, I can enable it right here. So it must be one of those things you can only enable outside of the game. So I went, did that. Then you even had to restart the game, in fact, if I recall. Then I was able to do it. So anyway, let's go hop in and see what it can do here.
What can this hold cut?
Found me. Epsilon 12, right? I can't see shit.
Who are you?
Sifo 451, Epsilon 11. I got separated from my unit, not sure how I got here. All I remember is hearing that door shutting behind me.
Who has the APC key?
The sergeant has the key. He's inside with... Look, we have a med kit in the camp we set up in the woods west of here. We marked... Good. Take this.
So now we're going to do the same thing on the OLED here. We'll start off just stock with the TSR at 50%. So I don't know what that actually equals on the end of the day, but quite low. Probably like in between 360 and 480, I would guesstimate. So not exactly impressive on the resolution, but hey, at least it makes the game playable. And when you're looking at the handheld itself, it doesn't look completely horrid. It doesn't like win any graphics awards. And as you can see here, you can enable this. This is when I finally figured out I could enable FSR3. So at least the camera recorded OLED will be FSR3 versus the Intel XeSS that I had on the LCD model, because at that point I didn't know I could do that. So kind of went and did little stuff a little backwards on that one, but it is what it is. At least we got some screen recorded gameplay of that, so we're good there at least. So now we can get into the game.
It's a true serum. It's still experimental, hence the polygraph. I would have tortured you, but my employers insist I use their concoction. Now, let's begin. How did you get into Hadia?
The yellow brick road.
Well, apparently, needs more time. While it's going through your system, curious about something. Why did you do it?
Anyone in my shoes would have done the same.
I think you overestimate human beings. I don't think you realize the time, money, and resources that went into this operation. You pissed off the wrong people. But I'm getting ahead of myself. You were smuggled out of Hadia at age 5, grew up in the foster care system, and dabbled in criminal activities. You managed to pull yourself together and become a decorated soldier. After decades of trying to get back into Hadia, well, you decided to take matters into your own hands. It seems we are ready. How did you get into Hadia?
I asked for a transfer to the UN peacekeepers, who had deployed inside Hadia. It backfired. When the paperwork cleared, Hadia's civil war was in full swing and the peacekeepers pulled out. I reported to my new unit, stole some gear, and crossed the mountains.
Why come back?
My parents. I wanted to find them. I needed,
Now we shall give Intel's XeSS a try on balanced here. Now, in my opinion, it looks a little better than the just stock TSR upscaling, but you lose some frames. And I could be wrong, maybe it looks worse to everybody else, but to me it looked a little bit cleaner. In fact, I think it even looked a little bit better than FSR3. But even FSR3 I think looked a little bit better than the stock TSR, but you lose FPS. The TSR is definitely the best for FPS.
You must be lost to wander around Sinedra Forest. I'm afraid I have very little to offer. You're welcome to stay and catch your breath. Frankly, I could use the company.
Who are you?
The name's Ernest Cadell. My family has tilled the earth here for generations. When the Sabinian army dug in for the winter, they used our home as their headquarters. I wasn't here at the time, but my sons were. They left my sons' bodies in the forest. My only solace is knowing that my fourth son might still be alive. I hope he finds his way home, if he's out there somewhere.
Do you know where the village of Jova is located?
It's in Akasa Marshes. It's quite a ways from here. I'm afraid you're going to need a vehicle. A group of strange-looking soldiers arrived here last night in an APC. Perhaps you can ask them for help. It's not the first time I've seen them. They always seem to be snooping around here for something.
Where can I find the APC?
They parked their APC just beyond the woods, to the north. I hung them in the trees so my sons would stop getting lost when they were children. Setharus, bless their souls.
Where can I find the APC?
They parked their APC just beyond the woods, to the north. I hung them in the trees so my sons would...
Hey, Gus, Arlo, Otis, please pick up. It's Atticus. I've been trying to call for days now. Phone lines keep going down, so I don't know when I'll be able to call you back, but I'll keep trying. Hey, don't go killing Sabs without me. See you soon.
found me. Epsilon 12, right? I can't...
Who are you?
Now we'll try out FSR 3. And since I realized this at the beginning of this one, we actually did get some FSR 3 camera recorded gameplay, unlike on the LCD model, so that's at least good. We got it balanced here, just to keep it fair to the Intel XeSS. We had that on balance as well. I'm sure they scale differently still, so it's not exactly apples to oranges, or apples to apples. It's apples to oranges, but it is what it is. So let's get into the game, shall we?
I need them.
Well, alright, let's get some camera recorded gameplay. I thought the thing crashed on me, but it just kind of like shut the game's screen off on me. And all I did to fix it was I just put the thing to sleep and reawoke it, and we were right back where we were. I still heard sound and everything, so I figured there might be a chance. When I have it hooked up to capture video, I'm completely deaf. I have no idea what's going on. So yeah, I don't really know which one of these works better between the Intel upscaler and the other one. They both look pretty equal, but this one seems to get slightly less FPS. But maybe it looks a hair better, I would say, maybe. But both of them would probably look acceptable just on the Steam Deck screen. I mean, let's be honest, most of the time you have to put things on low anyway, and when you're on such a small screen, it's harder to notice the graphics. Though there's still some games I played that look so bad. And now at least I can hear. Because when I heard you just follow the wind chimes, I'm like, well, that's a problem. Most of the time I can't hear, but now we can at least hear, so. I'm not hearing them anymore. Which tells me this is probably not the right way, but I still want to go and explore. Oh wait, what was that? It's more unknown language, probably demon language or something. That's what it looked like it was about. Oh, we're certainly not going that way. Yeah, we'll see if it does that same thing again. Ooh. Alright, now this isn't the game's fault. My Steam Deck just kind of does this after like 10-15 minutes of gameplay. It just starts like slowing down to like 5-6 FPS. Everything drops down to like 300 megahertz. And it just kind of does that for a little while. And then it'll stop doing it. It'll go completely back to normal. I mean, maybe something's throttling or something, but the temps weren't really getting that bad, I don't think. See, there we go. Now everything clicks back to normal. We're back to like 2 gigahertz and 1400 on the GPU. And we're only at like 77, 78. That's not that hot. It's a little warm, but I mean, for laptops and handhelds, that's really not that bad. They can usually get up to about 85, 90 before they start like throttling and doing goofy shit. Ah, indeed. Sounds like these things are on fire. Maybe they are and I just can't hear it or see it correctly because the graphics are so low. I don't know. Maybe that's just the leaves in the wind. I'm not quite sure. Alright, well we definitely found one of the trees. So we must be on the right track. Get that more centered. Sometimes I don't notice that I move my hand slightly out of center of the camera, so sorry about that.
Alright, my secondary computer's doing some wonky stuff. The screen keeps on going off and on. Oh, and I forgot to close, minimize OBS. Let's do that so we don't get burning. I'm just gonna close that. I don't know what the hell it's doing. Anyway, we took care of that. Sorry about that small interruption, but this thing's running like shit anyway, and it's not like anybody really wants to play where you're getting like 7 FPS and like laggy audio anyway, right? So, figured I'd take that as an opportunity to go and minimize the thing. I can still hear the things. Kind of sounds like they're coming from this way. Yeah. Man. This thing's got nice speakers still. Not quite as nice as the Ally, and there's still others that have better, but these still aren't that bad at all compared to a lot of the stuff I've heard. Oh, I think I brought myself back. Yeah, there's the cow, alright. Well, whatever. We just have to follow the things correctly this time. Although, actually, you know what? I think we should probably move on to the OLED, so why don't we just walk back over here, we'll get a little bit more gameplay on the way over to the game save. Yeah, we're up to like 82. That's a little hot, but I don't think that would be enough to cause it to throttle. I'll have to go look up what temps this thing throttles at. Yeah, see, it's doing it again. And again, this is not the game, it does this whenever you play anything graphically intensive. It doesn't really do this when you're just playing like indie games that are easy to run or 8-bit games. It's just like 3D games. Yeah, GPU goes down to 200 megahertz, the CPU goes down to 400 megahertz, so it's got to be some form of throttling. Either from power issues, or driver issues, or who knows. At least we can still manual save, we don't need a lot of FPS for that, so... This is annoying anyway, so why don't we move over to the OLED and be happy that at least it does not do any of this nonsense. Alright, now for some camera recorded gameplay. We're going FSR 3 this time instead of the Intel one like we did on the camera recorded portion of the LCD model there. I still intend to go back and get some footage on that too, but I already did the camera recorded portion, so... Alright, looks like we've made it to their base. So yeah, as long as you can follow basic directions and not just through all of the dialogues, you should be fine. I mean, I even go pretty quick since I don't want to bore you guys reading stuff, and hell, half the time I can't even fully read stuff because of the stat window, but I think I pretty much get medkit's a medkit. Alright, what is this thing? Vial of orange substance. Apparently this is a vial of orange substance. Cool. What else have we got in here? Oh, another report, huh? Alright. We're looking for that. And we got the medkit for the guy already, so we already got the main reason we were here. Is there anything else? Probably not. Now let's head back. Oh, wait. Oh, this is just one of those things I can't read yet. I probably have to, like, learn how to read the language first. Then I'll be able to read that shit. Just a guess. Who knows? Maybe I'll never be able to read that stuff. But that would be kind of silly. Then it's like, why is it even there? It's like, hey, check out this mysterious stuff you'll never be able to read. Like, oh, neat. Thanks. Alright, nothing over there. We're just kind of cruising around trying to see if there's anything hidden. I don't think so, so I guess we should head back. Yeah, I'm actually surprised. It's running pretty well. I thought this was going to be completely unplayable. Now, just like that one time in the beginning, I'm sure there'll be drops into the teens here and there when it has to like pre-cache some more stuff in like an area you're going into, I'm sure. Other than that though, seems pretty damn smooth. As smooth as 40 FPS can feel anyway. Alright, we're on the right track because there's that blue thing. I gotta find that key though. I know where that is. Where's the key? I think this is where I got the note. Yeah, that's where I got the note.
So there's still a key somewhere around. We've got the note that tells us about it. We know the destination. Now we just need the middleman, the old key. Okay, no, I am going the right way. At first, I didn't remember all those lights being there.
I need the med kit.
So I probably just trade him the med kit, I'm imagining. There you go.
Good. You got the med kit. Okay. You see that ladder over there? Climb it to the top. Take this. You'll need it to open the door. You'll figure it out.
Oh, cool. That's that thing I needed for up there. Okay, is there like... Alright, what do we got here? Where's the third one, though? There's 3. Do I just have to guess? Yeah, because I bet the other one would have been right there, so yeah, you just gotta use process of elimination. So... it starts out with that one, I do believe. And then I think it goes to that eye thing, yeah. But what is this supposed to be? Ah. The only one that's left. And now that door that was down there should be open now. Oh, it's right there. Alright, and I think with that, we can go, well, I'm going to technically go get some footage with FSR3 on the Steam Deck, but from where we are in the video, why don't we go wrap this video on up?
Well, alright guys, that's a wrap for Hell Is Us on the Steam Deck OLED and LCD, and it actually did a much better job than I was expecting. I mean, yes, it needed upscaling, but I have a feeling every single thing is going to need upscaling today, but we shall see. But still, we were getting playable FPS. Now, I can guarantee you it will do that little thing it did on both of them where it dropped down into the teens as we were walking towards a new area. I can almost guarantee it'll do that, but hey, you know what other game did that on here too? Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and guess what? That game is a checkmark, so who knows? This game actually might get, you know, verified on Steam Deck. How funny would that be? Because I mean, when I looked at that spec sheet, I was like, no, it's going to run at the 10, 15, maybe 25 FPS with upscaling if I'm lucky. No, it's actually getting like 35 to 45 FPS. That's more than playable for most people, especially on a handheld with a controller. Me, I usually like 60 plus, but when you're using a controller, FPS is a lot harder to freaking, you know, gauge, especially when you just have the standard, you know, slow looking around stuff. If you tweak all that stuff to the max, where you're like moving it around somewhat similar to a mouse, you'll never compete with a mouse movement with with a thumbstick though. But the thing is, I will say controllers have the win when it comes to just moving, because I can move real slow just by going like this versus, oh, all I can do is go full and hold down another button, you know, to still. So they both have their benefits. So I'm glad on PC I can use both. But anyway, that's pretty much that for this video. I'm kind of excited to see how it does on the Allies. And since this is a demo, I'm pretty sure I will not run into any de novo problems. And if I do, I will probably go, what the fuck? And then smoke a huge bowl and not give a shit and just do it tomorrow. But I'll definitely go, what the fuck? But anyway, that's all for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, because I sure as hell enjoyed making it for you guys. And until the next video, peace out, guys.